What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be comparing some of the guns. So if you guys missed the last video, I basically talked about ICR and just how awful it is. So today we're going to be comparing the guns that kinda sorta match the criteria of the gun that is ICR. We're going to see how they outperform the ICR, or maybe they even don't. That's kind of like going to be the point of this video. So the guns are going to be completely blank. They're going to be no attachments, going to be same perks all throughout the board. So the guns we're going to be looking at is actually M4-CQB that I just unlocked. We got the ICR Dark Matter, and then we got AK Red Action. I threw this in mainly because AK is so outlandishly horrible with the accuracy, but it packs a punch. That's why I really added this into this comparison, so we kind of have a understanding of just how awful one or the other gun is as far as the recoil goes. The next thing, we got the actual M4, and then we get the AK117. Now everybody knows why AK-17, because it is probably the best gun in the game at this point. So let's look at the ICR compared to the AK-117. Now, ICR has greater accuracy than the AK-117, has lower damage than the AK-117, and has lower rate of fire than the AK-117 by pretty high margins. Now, let's look at the M4-CQB. Now, they're pretty much identical to each other. The only thing that kind of differs about this one is the rate of fire on the M4 is higher and the accuracy is a lot less, or a little bit less. And the same with the other gun, you know, the rate of fire in the ICR is a little bit slower, but the accuracy is greater because it spews out less bullets. Now let's look at the AK. Now AK, you're gonna see some huge changes. Damage is gonna be a lot higher. You know, it bounced it up to 70. Accuracy is a lot less on the AK comparing to the ICR, and the range is obviously gonna be a lot greater on the AK-47 Red Action. Now let's look at the regular M4 that we're going to comparing it to. Now this is the M4. Now comparing M4 to an ICR is pretty much the same thing, but whenever you use an M4 and you use the ICR, you're gonna see difference. At least I have. You know, I was able to see the difference. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not very good at it. Maybe I just haven't gotten the chance to, you know, let the gun get used to, or get used to the gun. But basically, it's pretty similar to the M4-CQB, or Close Quarters Battles. I think that's what it stands for. But basically, it's same thing with the M4. Range, or rate of fire on the ICR is a little bit less, and the accuracy is a little bit higher with range. Alright boys, let's get back into the stats. So we're gonna go with M4-CQB. Damage on it is actually anywhere between 30 and 21 HP per shot. So basically, depending on the range, the least amount of bullets it's gonna take is 5, the most is 7. Now let's get down to M4. Damage on this one is between 30 and 25 damage per bullet, between 5 and 6 shots to kill at any range. Now AK is going to be anywhere between 37.5 and 30 damage per shot, so it equals out to about 4 to 5 shots depending on the range. Now the ICR is going to be between 30 and 25 bullets per hit, between 5 and 6 shots depending on the range, of course. And the AK-117 is actually surprisingly well. It deals between 30 and 25 HP, anywhere between the range it's between 5 and 6 shots per kill. So basically, the accuracy in these guns is actually quite different. If you look at any of these guns, right, the M4 has amazing accuracy. M4-CQB is actually pretty similar to that of an M4. AK-47, of course, is going to have a lot of recoil, but it's controlled recoil, right? All you know is AK, it's going to rise up because of the caliber of the bullet that it shoots, and because the way that the gun was designed. Now, the AK-117, it is basically like an assault version of the 74U, and it spews out a lot of bullets, but the recoil is controllable. Now, the ICR, what I've actually noticed about the ICR is that about 5th or 6th bullet you shoot, it's gonna drastically drag you to the left or right side. It's gonna jump up to left or right side, and there's nothing you can really do about it to kind of control it unless you played with the gun for quite some time and you actually got used to the way the gun performs. Now, the gameplay you guys actually see in each and every gun is me basically using the same guns with no serious attachments. There's no attachments. They're basically same perks across the board. Now, what I found out is ICR is really bad. It doesn't stack up well against pretty much any gun that we looked in here. If you want a gun with a lot of recoil and damage, then yeah, go for the ICR if you really want the bling on it. But if you look at the AK117, it's gonna demolish it. AK-47, of course, if you're good with it and you're able to control the recoil, that is basically the bread and butter of the gun. You just have to get used to it. The gun will melt, the gun will do wonders for you. Now, the M4-CQB and M4 in general are basically very, very accurate guns, you know, average damage, and you're just gonna be able to pick it up and get used to it with no time in the gameplay. Now, the ICR, like I said, it has that weird glitch, well, not really a glitch, the way the recoil control, the way the recoil the gun jumps after like 6th, 7th bullet, you're gonna see it jump to the left or right side. At least that's what I've noticed with my testing. So, do I like the gun? It's a cool gun, it's a cool looking gun, but does it really stack up well against all of the guns that we kind of looked at? It doesn't really stack up that well. Even the gun that I put in here just because, AK-47, right? It doesn't stack up well against it, mainly because, you know, I threw it in there because the recoil changed between the ICR and the AK, right? It was such an oddball gun, that's kind of why I threw it in there. It doesn't really compare it doesn't really stack up nicely. It has really high recoil and really high damage, but when you look at the both guns, of course, at longer ranges, you're gonna have to tap fire the AK, but there's a reward for it. You are able to kill people in less amount of bullets, but with an ICR, it is average damage with moderate to high recoil. That's kind of what I'm gonna have to rank it as, right? M4, M4-CQB, and AK117 all have moderate recoil. I think AK117, I'm gonna put it down as maybe moderate to somewhat high, right? Because it is basically a subby within the assault rifle body, right? That's basically how I'm gonna compare the gun. But AK-47, high recoil, high damage. We all know what to expect from the AK-47. The ICR, it is like an M4 body, but AK recoil with basically M4 damage output. There's no reward for using this gun, and I really don't think this gun stacks up nice within the confines of the guns that we've looked into this video. So let me know what you guys think of all the guns that we kind of went through down in the comment section below. What I'm gonna rank this as, me playing with the CQB, honestly, it's one of my favorite guns, and I only played with it a handful of games, and it's just cool. Like, I like it. It's fun, it kills people, it has moderate recoil, and I'm able to do things that I expect my guns to do. But with the ICR, I can't really get used to it. Even with like the best attachments, with all the attachments I've tried, you know, the grip, the quick draw grip, extended mags, and the red dot, it still does not perform to the standards that we have within the confines of M4, M4-CQB, AK-117. They'll just blow it out of the water with no problems. But yeah, that's basically the stats, basically the testing I've done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, or hopefully you guys found this video useful or interesting. If you guys did, definitely drop it a like. Hopefully you guys are gonna have a great time for Christmas. Please don't spend your Christmas money on Call of Duty Mobile. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.